You are now watching Fourth and Inches.
I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to them boys that sat on the benches, boy. I was in the game on 4 inches. Coach put me in the game on 4 inches. Put me in the game on 4 inches. Coach put me in the game on 4 inches. And I'ma lead them boys at the line of scrimmage.
All right, y'all, man. Welcome back to Fourth and Inches. It's your boy Nick, man. I'm here with my partner Rodriguez Moore.
It is I. It is I. I'm gonna let you slide.
Hey, man, you got no choice. I done said it now. But anyway. Uh, I ain't gonna care. I threw myself off with that one because I meant to say Drake. But we gonna keep rolling though. All right, so we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off with something kind of close to home, man. We got number 13 Tennessee at number 14 Missouri. Uh, top 15 matchup, SEC East matchup. Everything really kind of still in front of both of these teams. If Georgia slip up and take a L, but if Tennessee win out, I believe they can still win the East. Missouri needs some help, but they still got a chance if they continue to win. So, who you like in this game right here?
Man, this a hard game actually. Cause Missouri, they better than I thought they was. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was just all hype. You know what I'm saying? When they played y'all last weekend, they hung around for a while. You know what I'm saying? I think what changed the game was when he threw that pick to that defensive lineman. That pretty much killed all the momentum, so that kind of deflated that balloon. But I didn't expect them to stick around like they did, so they kind of surprised me. I ain't gonna lie. So with that being said, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna come down to whether or not Missouri can slow up Tennessee's offense, because if they let them boys get rolling early, then it might be a little too much for Missouri. I don't think Missouri got the offensive power to keep up with nobody going score for score.
I feel you on that. I think Missouri has probably a top 3 receiver in the country though in Luther Burden. And even with him basically having a non-existent game, really. I mean, he ended up with 3 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. One of them catches though was like a 39-yard touchdown early in the game on their first drive. From that point on, he pretty much was non-existent the rest of the game. 2 catches for 14 yards, and they still was able to put up 21 points. So they put up some points on Georgia defense. Their defense blitz way more than I've ever seen anybody blitz for real. Like Alabama and Georgia are the 2 teams that we watch the most, and like they'll blitz, but when they blitz most of the time, it's not a real blitz. It's more like a zone blitz. We're gonna bring 2 backers, but then you'll drop out the defensive end type thing like that.
Yeah.
No, Missouri bringing 5 and 6 people on every play. They gonna heat you up. They gonna make you make a decision right now. And because they play that way, I feel like they're gonna be able to shut down Tennessee run game, and they're gonna force Joe Milton to win the game. And he gonna have to make quick decisions right now. At the same time, the way Tennessee plays, especially when they spread it out with their receivers and twins all the way to the sideline, like that's to me, it's gonna make it hard for you to disguise your blitz. So you're gonna have to basically declare early, so now they know what's coming. So I'm so interested to see how Tennessee offense handles Missouri defense and vice versa. You know what I mean? Because it's like it shouldn't work, but it might though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm gonna pick Missouri because they home, but I don't know. It can go either way.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I say it can go either way, man. It's just if they let Tennessee, I feel like though, if it comes down to a shootout, and I feel like Tennessee got a more potent offense. I ain't saying they got no top 5 offense, but I feel like they one of the better offenses in the country. So they let them boys get rolling early. might be a long day for Missouri. Now I ain't saying that's gonna cost them the game, but it's definitely gonna be a close one if they can't stop them boys.
On the
And you
flip,
talk about Missouri receiver. Tennessee got a receiver too. What is that? Squirrel,
yeah,
something like.
Squirrel White, he real good.
Yeah. So if they feed him often and early, I don't know. But I feel like Missouri, they know about him. They gonna try to take him away.
Of course.
I don't know, man. I really can't even pick who gonna win, man. I don't know. Only reason I might give Missouri the edge is for the simple fact that the same reason you just gave them the edge is because they the home team.
Yeah, man, that's all they come down to for it for me anyway. Cause they so similar. Like Tennessee's strength on defense is their defensive line. Missouri offensive line is pretty good, man. They pretty good. So if they can give Brady Cook time, he can take advantage of that weak secondary that Tennessee got. But he got to have time first.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be a good one though.
Most definitely. All right, man. Another game down in Florida, Miami on the road. Number 4, Florida State. You know, Doak Campbell Stadium gonna be rocking. It's a rivalry game. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, man. My only real question is Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson gonna be back for this game? They was held out last week. They were on the sideline though. They didn't look like they were too banged up. So I assume both will be back. And if they're back, I'm taking Florida State. If they're not back, I'm still taking Florida State. But Miami has a way better chance to win without those two guys on the field.
I'm taking Florida State regardless. I just don't feel like I feel like the game might be good for the first quarter, maybe the first quarter, but I feel like it's it's a it's a rivalry game, but I feel like Florida State just gonna be too much for Miami. I ain't got no faith in Miami.
Hey man, I don't blame you. You know what I mean? After watching Georgia Tech beat Miami, it's been kind of going downhill for them ever since then. So I
Yeah,
feel you.
I don't got no faith in Miami.
All right, now another one that's it's kind of on the national radar, but it kind of don't mean too much to us is USC at number 6, Oregon. USC coming off of back-to-back losses on the road at Oregon. Oregon hot as fish grease, but they ain't played nobody but Washington, and they lost that game. So here's a chance for them to prove that they are a legit team by beating USC. And even though USC got a couple losses, I mean, they're still a decent team, at least offensively anyway. Offensively, they're a decent team. Defense,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
what is that? Lincoln Riley and defense do not go together. You understand me?
That what I was gonna say. I'm gonna go ahead and get that game to Oregon for the simple fact that they ain't got no defense. You know what I'm saying? Now, USC got a good offense, but I feel like Oregon's defense get more stops than USC defense. And the fact that USC don't have a defense, Oregon, if they playing a team that ain't really got no defense like that, they gonna hang some numbers on them too. So it come down to that which defense can make the most stops. I think it's Oregon.
I think so too. I think Oregon defense will actually get USC offense fits like the whole game because that's just kind of what the defense does. I mean, it's a reason that Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Florida, I mean, the list go on and on and on, but it's a reason that all those teams run basically the same defense because it works. And not only does the scheme work, when you have the players in place, it makes it that much better. And the first thing Dan Lannon did when he came in at Oregon was he increased the speed on the defense. The two starting middle linebackers right now both came to Oregon to play safety, and he done moved them down the linebacker to get more speed on the field, just for offenses like USC. So
Yeah,
I like Oregon to win. I like Oregon to win by 14 or more in this game.
yeah, I can go for that.
All right, now while we in the Pac-12, number 18 Utah on the road at number 5 Washington. Michael Penix putting up Heisman like numbers this year. And they got the Utah Utes coming in. You know, Utah, the hard nose. Utah really an SEC team that play in the Pac-12. You know, the only thing they lacking is overall team speed. Like they overall team with defensive team speed ain't quite SEC caliber. You know, as far as the upper echelon, but man, that's a SEC type team playing in the Pac-12. Now they did lose their quarterback though for the season, so you don't have any Cam rushing. You know, you've been playing with the second string, and now he out. Now you got the third, fourth string in there playing. So, but they've been winning though. It's been working so far.
They've been winning against who though?
The Pac-12 and Florida.
Exactly. When they played Florida, they had their quarterback though.
Nah, that was a second string quarterback. The starting quarterback has not played at all this season,
Oh, so that was their second string quarterback that played Florida.
and now
And they
he
made
out.
him. I don't know, man. I feel like Washington, they got a pretty solid defense. I ain't gonna say for their conference, they got a pretty solid defense. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, Michael Penix, he putting up Heisman like numbers. So I'm gonna get an edge to Washington.
Oh, Washington got a real good receiver too by the name of Rome Aduze. Remember the name, Rome Aduze. Some people think he might be a first round pick in the draft. I don't know, but we'll see. He putting up good numbers though, but at the same time, it's the Pac-12. Y'all basically run the air raid offense. Yeah, but it's a lot of people put up good numbers in the offense and ain't do nothing.
Yeah.
But let's bring it on home, man. You got number 8 Alabama on the road in the bluegrass state. You know what I'm saying? Taking on the Kentucky Wildcats. Uh, let's be honest. Both of these teams, if you ask their head coaches what their goals is for the team, it's gonna be the exact same. And they want to beat you up. That's all. That's all. They just want to beat you up and win the game. So, with that being said, what are your thoughts on the game?
I feel like this is this will probably be one of the best versions of Kentucky that we played over the years. Normally we thump them. This game might be a little closer than it usually be between these two teams, but of course, I feel like we're gonna win. We got more to lose than they do. Uh, what's gonna be interesting is how our defense try to take away the run, because that's what Kentucky like to do. They want to line up and run the ball. But we got a great defense and stopping the run. So it's gonna be, can they offense do enough to move the ball on our defense? That's gonna be the battle. And I feel like that play more into our strength as far as stopping the run. We usually have more trouble when you got teams who can either sling the ball around or got a dual threat quarterback who can sling the ball or run. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to, if your main strength is running the ball, that plays into our strength. So same way it played into Georgia's strength, trying to just stopping the run and forcing you to sling the ball around. As far as their defense go, Georgia hung a bunch of points on their defense, so it can't be too potent. Our offense, I still feel like our offense hadn't played our best, but we played well enough, you know what I'm saying, the past few games. So I don't know what kind of offensive game we're gonna try to scheme up against these guys. Probably let Jalen Milroe do like he did last week against LSU and just play his game and be himself. And I feel like we're gonna take care of business.
So I think Kentucky's defense will have more success against Alabama's offense than it had against Georgia's offense from the simple standpoint of the schemes, the schematic. You know, Georgia is a cover 3 beater passing team. Alabama really ain't that. You know what I mean? But
Nah, we
that ain't
really want
players though.
we
That's
really want to run the ball.
coordinators.
We want to run the ball, open up little play action,
Mm.
take a couple of shots. That's pretty much what we're gonna do. Run the ball, set you up for to start the run and hit you over the top. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to do. But
I understand that. And Kentucky is decent against the run. I ain't saying they no all world defense in there, but they're decent. They're a decent defense, right? And they gonna play to stop the run and force you to pass the ball. But that's again, if you talk to Mark Stoops and Nick Saban, I promise you they gonna sound like they saying this, like they're reading the same script, because they won't do the same things. The difference in the game to me though is Kentucky's offense shouldn't have much success at all against Alabama's defense for the simple fact of this, like the example with the Georgia game. Well, in my personal opinion, so far this season, Alabama's front, their defensive line has probably been the best out like in the SEC. You know what I mean? The only other team that I would say would be in that conversation would be Tennessee or well A&M too.
yeah, yeah,
But like Georgia's defensive line has been good and they've been great in moments, but they haven't been consistently great. So I don't feel like they're as good because they haven't been as consistent with it. So I don't see Kentucky having success running the ball against Alabama, which is going to force them to pass the ball and it's going to allow Alabama to turn loose the pass rushers like Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell, um, I'm forgetting the other guy, Tresman Marshall in the middle,
yeah,
other linebacker, Lawson. Like y'all linebackers are great blitzers. All 5, 6 of them that rotate in there. So when you
yeah.
get in
Because
passing
it's
situations,
different.
I look for them to have success. And Devin Leary can't move like that. He a statue back though. That's not good against any team with defense. I mean, any team with team speed, rushing the passer. It's not good. It's not good at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. Force them into some mistakes. So, like I say, I feel like our defense gonna do what we do, but our offense, like I say, I don't know what game plan will go in with the offense. Uh, so that's gonna be interesting for me to see. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how we're gonna do it. I feel like you said, I feel like they're gonna try to crowd line and stop the run too and try to force Miro. But the thing is, these past few weeks, you know what I'm saying, teams that have tried to force Miro to beat them, I ain't gonna say he just stood back there and just beat them, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, he did enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, even with that though, that's still your best option. Cause if you just allow them to run the ball, you ain't got no chance. None.
Somebody just allow Alabama to run the ball.
Yeah, you ain't got no chance.
Oh yeah,
So you gotta take something away. And if I gotta take something away, I'm gonna take away your ring game, at least try to, and take my chances with you throwing the ball. And gotta live with whatever come with that.
yeah. See, they gonna have to play Spotto because if you do take away the run, now you're gonna force us to drop back and throw the ball, but he's still a threat with his legs too. So
So
it
here's
still
the
be some
thing.
aspect of running.
This the thing though. They don't necessarily have to assign nobody to spy Jalen Milroe because they don't play a lot of man defense. They play a lot of zone. So the whole defense is gonna be looking at him anyway.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? So it kind of helped them out the way they play their zone defense anyway, because you're gonna have the linebackers looking at him, corner safeties, everybody already looking at him. So
yeah.
even
But
if you
see
do
that
get out of
that's
pocket, I'm just saying, even if you get out of pocket, you're gonna have everybody coming to get him anyway.
Yeah, but that's gonna play into us too because while y'all so focused on him jumping out that pocket and trying to keep everything in front of you, that's when you slip around, mess around, and let one of the receivers get beat deep, and everybody know he got a great deep ball, so you can get killed that way too.
Well, I mean, if you let somebody beat you deep and you playing cover three, you done already did something wrong. Cause the whole thing is to not get beat deep. It's to make you
Yeah,
take the short
right,
passes. So
right. But when you got a quarterback who's known for taking off with the ball and he pose a real threat getting out that pocket, and you want to try to keep him contained to an extent. Sometimes them eyes get caught in that backfield, somebody get behind you. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I get what you're saying, but I'm telling you, bro. Like if you the safety or you the corner, because usually how Kentucky was doing it, they'll bring one corner down, have one corner deep in the middle. I mean, one safety down, one safety deep in the middle, and then both the corners is playing, the deep thirds on the outside. So by doing that, if you the deep safety in the middle, you looking at the quarterback, but you never coming up. The corners, you looking at the receiver and the quarterback, but you're not coming up. Like you absolute last resort because your number one thing is I'm gonna be deep as the deepest. Like that's your number one thing on the play. So you got two linebackers and another safety all down in the box to handle that. You got no business looking at that at all.
Yeah, that's true.
But you have to be disciplined though.
That's when you tell them, hey, take what the defense give you. That's basically how we play this game.
Yeah, exactly. All right, now moving on to the main event, the real game, the only game that really matters.
Yeah, we just talked about that one.
Number 9, Ole Miss on the road. Number 2, Georgia. Well, let's keep it a buck. They number 1, Georgia. They only number 2 to this committee, but hey, who knows what they're talking about? Because they picked Ohio State. The Ohio State been struggle winning the entire season. What are we talking about? But hey, I digress.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even argue that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was saying about the eye test and all that though. They can't be going by the eye test because Ohio State hadn't looked like the best team.
They just inconsistent with their rankings in general because you'll say, well, Ohio State has 2 good wins, Notre Dame and Penn State. Notre Dame got like 4 losses right now. So is that still a good win? Or are you just giving them that it's a good win on the reputation that that's Notre Dame?
More than likely the reputation that's Notre Dame. That's right. You know what I'm saying? They like you say, they've been inconsistent really since the start of the playoffs because at first they were saying they was gonna give it to the 4 best teams. Then let's take the TCU game when how TCU got in. They deemed TCU the most deserving. Okay, so is it the 4 best or is it the 4 most deserving?
I think it all comes down to the 13 people in the room. That's why it changed so much. I want to say it changed every year. So
is it the 4 best teams or the 4 most deserving?
This the thing though. When you got human beings in the room, it's gonna all come down to opinion. No matter what you say you looking for, it's gonna be your opinion. And then you changing them 13 people every year. So you're gonna have 13 new opinions every year. You're gonna get a different result every year. Like,
you know what? I think it'd be more interesting if they try to just like a simulation where they just let the computer generate the ratings. You know what I'm saying? The rankings and stuff.
Oh, so we're gonna go back to BCS.
Yeah, basically. Let the computer generate it and see what the computer throw out versus what.
So this thing, I didn't have no real problem with the BCS because even though I didn't like the system and how it was as far as
it's simple. The championship game is gonna be the number 1 and the number 2 ranked teams. But back then, bowl games mattered. Bowl games mattered back then. You know what I'm saying? Like if you didn't make it to the championship game, the BCS championship game, you fought for a good bowl game. So bowl games matter back then. Now, if you get a bowl game, okay, yeah, you got a bowl game, but who cares about bowl games? You didn't make it to the 14 playoff.
Do you know when that started?
In a way, you still feel like you had a failed season. Back then, though, you be happy to make it to.
Well, listen, that ain't have nothing to do with the playoff committee. That started with the campaign of basically saying if you're not in the playoff, then your game don't matter. Like the media started that. Then you get people like Leonard Fournette deciding, oh, I'm gonna sit the bowl game out. Like, why? Why you sitting the bowl game out? It's your last game in college. Why would you sit that out? But like that's where it started at though. So he wasn't the only one. It was like 3 or 4 of them that did it that year. But if you go look at it from that point to now, every year you get more and more people basically sitting out the bowl game saying, oh, the bowl game don't mean that I'm going to get ready for the draft. Like, that's stupid. That whole attitude to me is crazy.
Yeah.
But that's just me, though. You know what I'm saying?
Back to the subject at hand.
Yeah, man.
As much as I would like for Ole Miss to beat Georgia, I feel like Georgia gonna beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like y'all beat them only because they offense, even though it's a pretty decent offense, it really run through uh their running back Junkins and and I forgot the receiver name, their best receiver, but
Trey something.
yeah.
It's Trey something.
Outside of them two, really, I mean, their quarterback, he pretty decent too. Now you gotta account for him too, but y'all gonna limit Junkins. I ain't gonna say y'all gonna stop him because he be getting his, whether it's through the air or on the ground. He gonna get a little something. But I just don't feel like their defense is gonna be good enough to slow y'all offense enough to keep him in it. I feel like it's y'all gonna be able to stop their offense. Especially y'all have Brock Bowers back, their defense gonna be stretched out.
Well, good news and
I
bad
don't know if
news.
Brock gonna be back. I don't know if he's gonna be back. But even if he ain't,
So
y'all still got Oscar Delp. So
the thing about Brock Bowers is he's back running at practice, and I think he will suit up Saturday. He might even get on the field, but I don't think he's gonna really be a factor in this game. I look for him to come back and start playing for real next week at Tennessee or at Georgia Tech. Like, just to be honest with you, only reason I think he's gonna
yeah,
get on the field Saturday is because the last home game, he probably not coming back. At least I wouldn't come back. The man probably gonna be a first round pick in the NFL draft.
that
You
man
know,
gonna be a top 10 pick. He ain't coming back.
I mean, I know that, you know that, but then somebody said they had a conversation with his mama, and his mama was like befuddled. Like, what do you mean you don't think he's gonna come back? Why wouldn't he come back to Georgia for his senior year? So I don't know what they got
Well,
going on.
maybe he come from money. That's basically what I'm hearing.
I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I have no idea. It was just the fact that she said that, and like, cause the dude was basically saying he was trying to tell her like, no, like he's not coming back. He gonna be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. Like he's a millionaire in the making. Like, what do you mean? Why would he come back? But she was like, I don't know. I don't know. Tight.
Maybe him and his mama had the conversation, and she's just trying to be modest about it and not say too much. You know what I'm saying? That might be something they talked about.
That's possible. That is possible, but you never know. But like I say, I know for a fact. Well, I ain't gonna say I know for a fact, but I believe he gonna suit up. I believe he gonna get on the field for at least one play, but I don't think he gonna be a major factor. I think the biggest factor in this game for Georgia offense is gonna be Dejon Edwards because he can do it all. He can get the ball in the backfield. You could throw it to him out in the open. He is a problem, and I don't believe Ole Miss linebackers can match up with him. I don't think that the safeties can match up with Georgia slot receivers and tight ends. Like you mentioned, Oscar Delp, he a problem. Like
Yeah.
to me, I feel like he need to catch the ball more. They need to throw the ball to him more because he is a problem. Like he ain't Brock Bowers, but he ain't far off. Like they pretty much the same size. They probably run the same time in the 40 almost. Like get him an opportunity. That's all I'm saying. And another
Yeah.
thing, um, I think Arian Smith gonna be back in like as far as the offense go. I think they're gonna target him some in this game right here because when you got 10 100-meter speed, you can't coach that. You know what I mean? So he had some drops
Definitely
early
can't.
in the season. Like he had some real issues going on with drops and missing assignments and stuff like that. But you gonna need him down the road. So the way Ole Miss defense is, you gonna need somebody that can get on top of the defense. He your best bet to do it. I at least gotta put him out there a couple plays and just send him deep and just hey throw it up. You know what I mean? If it's there, throw it. If it ain't there, then throw the check down. But that's just me. That's my personal opinion on what I would do. As far as
Yeah.
the defense goes, though, to me, this game is gonna be determined by the defensive line and the inside linebackers. Because if the defensive line can be dominant up front, they kill Ole Miss everything. Cause Ole Miss is a run first team. They in the spread and it's gonna look cute. They a run first team. If you stop the run game, you stop Ole Miss. Period.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jamon Dumas Johnson is out though. Pop number 10. He gonna be out probably 4 weeks. He broke his forearm last week game. So
Hey,
so we probably gonna be starting the freshman CJ Allen in the next to Smile Monday. Now the negative is you losing somebody that's been a starter the last 2 years. He was a Butkus Award finalist last year. He was on his way. You know, a lot of people felt like he was having an All American season this year. I don't personally feel like that, but some people said they feel like he was having an All American type season. I feel like he was playing decent, but not. But
not
I
all
digress.
American work.
No, I don't. But it's just my personal thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like his weakness though on the defense is he's not as fast as Georgia linebackers typically are. At the same time, he almost 250 pounds too though. So you know what
Yeah,
I'm
so
saying?
and that just means he's gonna be a big hitter, you know.
Right. So he a great run stopper 90% of the time, but out on the edge is where he weak at. Well, when you bring in a freshman, CJ Allen, you got the exact opposite problem. CJ Allen, light and fat. Like CJ Allen is the closest thing to Roquan Smith since Roquan Smith left, as far as size, talent, ability, all of that. But he a freshman. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you lose that experience. You bring in this dude that's super talented. You know, Raylan Wilson the same way, number 5. But they two true freshmen, and now they're gonna have to play big minutes. So I'm interested to see
I
how
mean,
that
well, they
plays out.
got defensive line to help him out a little bit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Your defensive line has to dominate. And you starting 3 seniors on your defensive line, and in your rotation, I think it's 5 out of 8 or 5 out of 10 or whatever is seniors. So I look for the line to be great Saturday. Because if any game that they need to be great in, it's gonna be Saturday. It's your last home game. All y'all seniors pretty much, and it's the game that you gonna determine. So I look for the D line to step up and have a big game. And of course, I'm taking them dogs to win
What's all
and
10 and a
cover. I don't even know what the line is, man. Give me the dogs by 50.
half? Oh, I'll take that bet.
I bet you would. I bet you
I'll
would.
take
Nah,
nah, but
but
the line is 10 and a half. That's the same line we got over Kentucky.
I do like Georgia to cover that line though. But
Which is interesting.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting, especially with it probably be raining Saturday.
Oh, for
So
real?
yeah, it probably be raining up there most of the day. But they say by kickoff, most of the rain should be moved out. But this is
What
this is Georgia, so you never know.
what time y'all play?
7 o'clock.
7?
Yeah, we kick off at 7 on ESPN.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I'm saying that I just think that's an interesting line though, because y'all are 10.5 point favorite at home, and y'all been putting up fairly decent numbers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't putting up 50 points a game, but still putting up fairly decent numbers. And for y'all to only be a 10.5 point favorite
Yeah,
at
but Georgia ain't really blew nobody out, it in the SEC except Kentucky.
yeah, yeah. But Kentucky, they weren't no slouches either though.
This is true. That's why I feel like it's gonna be, a 14-point game or
And
more.
y'all wasn't even that big of a favorite over Kentucky.
Nope, because Kentucky had just ran for 300 yards on Florida. And I'm like, Kentucky averaged 170 yards rushing a game, and that was including that 300 yards against Florida. And y'all think they gonna come to Athens and do that? Like, come on, man, stop playing. Stop playing. They
I
really
mean,
don't even do that for real. They just did it against Florida that game.
we held Ole Miss to 10 points total. So
Yeah, man, I feel like Georgia do something similar. I ain't saying it's gonna be 10, but I think it's gonna be under 20.
Yeah, I mean, y'all got the defense to do it.
What they got to do is they got to stop with the let the team score on the first drive. I can't stand it, bro. I can't stand it.
On the first drive.
Man, pretty much every game they done let the team go down and score on the first drive, and then they don't score no more for 3 quarters, pretty much. And I mean, like that's almost every game. Like I think Auburn and Missouri the only exceptions of a team like Missouri scored twice in the first half. Auburn scored twice in the first half, I think. Like they were
And
leading
what
at
you call
halftime.
it? In South Carolina scored. They
Yeah,
had
South
14.
Carolina scored twice. But South Carolina scored on the first drive, and I don't think they scored again till like almost halftime.
Yeah, that's about right.
You know
Cause
what I
I
mean?
think y'all
So
went in the halftime tied up 14-14.
something like that.
Or was it 14-0 at halftime?
Nah, it was like
I know they
14,
had 14
14.
at half.
Might have been 14-10, for real.
No, at one point y'all was tied up 14-14. Right?
I think it was tied 14-14 at half.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 14-14 at half. And then second half, they must have stayed in the locker room.
No, the second half Georgia played like they were supposed to play. I don't get it. Georgia has really been a second half team all season, and I just don't
That's
understand
the
it.
same thing I'm saying about Alabama. They been the same way. Except for one game now. I ain't gonna lie.
Except
One
for one.
game we played the first half good, but not the second half, and that was against Arkansas.
Oh, well, see, Georgia one game was they came out against Kentucky and just beat the brakes off them folks from the word go. And then Kentucky ended up scoring on. I think they scored on their first drive. At least they had a good first drive, even though they didn't score. But then they
No,
didn't
I
score
don't think they
again.
scored. I think that first drive they kept getting penalized, penalty after penalty after penalty.
You right. And then they ended up scoring like in the fourth quarter on the backups or something like that. But yeah, man, Georgia by 14.
So you think about 14?
I think Alabama gonna cover that 10 too.
Mhm.
As long as they
I
don't
can
turn the ball over. I mean, if y'all get out there and turn the ball over, anything can happen.
Yeah, same thing with y'all. Ole Miss, like I say, I feel like y'all gonna win, but I don't feel like they'll be. You can't just sleep on them. Same thing with Kentucky. We can't just go in there and sleep on them boys either.
Nah, that's a fact. But man, they gonna cut this thing short, man. What you want to leave the people with?
No man, I ain't got nothing to say, man. I'm gonna let the boys play. I'm saying my talking for around about December the 2nd.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you think Alabama were gonna be invited to the Georgia Invitation? Is what you're saying?
No, I think we're gonna get back to our invitational, and yeah, go back to the Alabama invitation. Shout out to Steve A. Smith.
Who? Who? You mean the same band that picked TCU? Okay. All right. All right.
Hey, Stephen A.
Nah.
named it the Alabama Invitational, so
He
that's what it is.
also he also said that TCU was gonna beat Georgia, man. So they tell you everything you need to know about his integrity as name or something. Pick
Everybody
one.
wrong sometimes. Everybody wrong
Nah,
sometimes.
nah. He
Always
he just a
right.
Georgia hater. He just a Georgia hater.
Hey man,
Yeah.
I feel it.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
I feel it.
He don't even have no reason to hate Georgia though, man. You was from North Carolina. I mean, you from New York, and you went to college at Winston-Salem State of North Carolina. Why you hating on the dogs, man?
I'm
Why you
from
hating on the
Georgia.
dogs?
I don't like them. I used to.
So I'm talking about you just be switching up, man. You no loyalty, no
Nah, ain't no
loyalty.
switching up, man. You know who made me dislike Georgia?
Just switching sides, man, like a Cowboys fan.
Them Georgia fans.
You know what?
I got one partner that's a Georgia fan. He got a lot of Alabama bias, but he won't admit it. But he got a lot of Alabama bias. I ain't gonna call no names.
I will. I call his name.
I ain't gonna call no names.
Nah, I ain't gonna do it like that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna clip this part of it. I'm gonna put it on TikTok and I'm gonna tag him in it.
Okay, that'll work.
All right, man. But anyway, y'all be easy. Go dogs.
Roll Tide.
Tide. Oh, real quick, one more time before we go. So listen, one more thing. Next year, the SEC we have 4 teams that's all burgundy and white. Y'all need to do better.
What you mean it's all burgundy and white? We the only Crimson right here.
Alabama, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, all burgundy and white. Different shades of burgundy. It's all burgundy and white. I don't care what y'all talking about.
It's different shades.
It's still burgundy.
It's different shades. Oklahoma is red.
Hey.
That ain't burgundy. That's red.
Get what their colors is? Crimson and cream.
Who, Oklahoma?
Their official colors is crimson and cream. Like, y'all need to stop the cap. Stop the cap.
Them boys red, man. They red.
Hey.
We the real burgundy.
Y'all ain't none of y'all red. All y'all burgundy. Mississippi State, the only one got it right, man. They color is maroon and white. That's exactly what that is.
See, they maroon. We burgundy.
Maroon is another word for burgundy, sir.
Mississippi also got the right bulldog too.
Boy, stop. See, now it's over with. Over with. Go Dogs.
I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. I don't talk to them boys that sat on the benches, boy. I was in the game on 4 inches. Go put me in the game on 4 inches. Put me in the game on 4 inches. Go put me in the game on 4 inches. And I'ma lead them boys at the line of scrimmage.